Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, Author Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time. Welcome back to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence, where the light shines on amazing people who are doing amazing things. I'm your host, Author Nikki Nicole, and today I have an extraordinary guest whose journey is nothing but inspiring. She's a singer, songwriter, and a true storyteller, one who has faced unimaginable hardships, yet she continues to rise stronger and more fearless than ever. So, after her countdown, please welcome Thea Lissi to the Breaking the Silence platform. How you doing?
Good.
Thanks so much for being a part of my platform. I'm excited about having this conversation with you today to find out how you started everything. So tell everybody a little bit about your journey and how you met the mic. Where did you fall in love with music?
Oh, I love how you said met the mic. I've never heard anyone say that before in that way. But basically, I didn't start until 2020, and I was going through a divorce. And if you or any of the listeners have ever been through a divorce, a lot of times you lose yourself in these relationships, and it's like, you forget who you are trying to be whoever this person wants you to be. And so that's kind of where I'd find myself. And I always loved writing poetry and things like that growing up, but I never thought that I could sing because I'm one of 11 kids, and of those 7 are girls, and most of them can sing, So I guess I always compared myself, and I don't have like the typical female voice, you could say. It's more raspy. So I always thought just because like I didn't sound like them, that maybe that meant that I couldn't sing. And so as I was going through that journey, I started writing, and it was like a form of healing because I was starting to really process a lot of my childhood trauma and things like that, and then also relationship trauma. And so I decided to start writing and went to LA and recorded a song. And then it just became like an expensive hobby at first. And then slowly, it became a part of my career. So, yeah.
Wow, 11 kids?
Yes.
Wow. And all of y'all can sing? Are you the only one that's in the music industry, or are your other siblings in the music industry as well?
I guess I'm the only one in the music industry. I have one sister that she sings for worship. Like she's a worship leader, I guess. And then I have a few others that have done it before, but I don't think they're like actively doing it at the moment. But I mean, of the 11, I would say at least half can sing, if not more. So, yeah.
Nice. So who are some of your musical influences, and how have they impacted your sound?
It's such a vast, variety, because I grew up, listening to a lot of R&B and pop and hip hop whenever I was allowed to, at least, or we'd sneak it. But, with dance, that's what I would listen to mostly. Even though we weren't allowed to listen to secular music, you find your way, when you're growing up. But I would say Shania Twain was always a big influence because that was one that even my dad loved her music and would use it to woo my mom. So I think that was part of why we were allowed to listen to it. I always loved Chris Brown. I love every song, even from the way back when stuff to now. And I love the soul and R&B feel of that. I love artists like Teddy
Mm.
Swims and Jelly Roll now, that they have that soul in their voice, but have, good storytelling too and aspects like that. So, yeah, I mean, there's many, many more, but that's like the main ones I would say.
Nice. So, you touched on a little bit about growing up, in the music sector and not being able to listen to certain types of music. How did growing up in Louisiana and being a part of that large family influence your music journey? And when did you know that, hey, I want to be more serious about this. I want to take my music journey to another level.
Yeah. So I would say growing up in Louisiana in general, every festival or holiday, they make everything into a holiday and a reason to have festival. And there's always live music and it's a lot of jazz and soul and Cajun, Zydeco. So you get to experience like a lot of different styles of music. And then we have a festival here called Festival International where there's literally bands from all over the world that are like just different types of music that most people have never even heard of before. So I think like even not being able to listen to it on the radio per se, we would still go to events like that. And so I would get to experience like different cultures and different styles of music that maybe I wouldn't have heard of before. And then I think just having a lot of siblings in general, I have a lot of crazy life experiences that most people don't have. And so that's given me a lot to write about, good and bad. And then I would say, now it's the reason it's become a huge part of what I do in making, a career out of it is because it's such a point of healing for me. And it's allowed me to express myself and to tell my story, which was something that I felt like I shouldn't do growing up or wasn't allowed to do. And,
Right.
and so now that I'm gaining that strength and confidence to kind of just be real and raw and say, hey, this is the reality of what I lived through and we made it through. And that's what's most important. And other people deserve to like hear that story and know that they can as well, you know.
Right, I agree. When I think about Louisiana, I think about New Orleans, how the band, walks up and down the road and playing music. I always dream to go into New Orleans. Does that really happen?
Yeah, especially for Mardi Gras. It's like in the
Wow.
parades and stuff. And but even not during Mardi Gras, there's like weddings and people they'll walk down, especially in New Orleans. They'll walk down, in the inner city and with the band and everything. So it's very much a big cultural thing here.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So how does your creative process look like when you're writing a song? Like with me, when I write something, either I need to be in like a quiet area or I need to have some type of instrumental on listening to get the juices to flowing. What does your process look like when you're writing a song?
I feel like a lot of the time I do the music in the background or like a beat or find a loop or something. That is probably majority of the songs that I write are inspired by the music. But there's always times where I'm like if I'm going through something or I hear someone say something and it triggers a thought in my brain and I'm like, you know what, I should write a song about that. And then it just starts flowing that way. Sometimes I dream of a song and then I wake up and realize like I was either singing it in my dream or someone else was singing it and realize it's not a real song. So I'll voice memo it so I don't forget. Um, yeah. So it comes in all different ways. It's kind of just like whenever it hits you, you just have to run with it. Voice memos are my best friend because if I don't have the time at that moment to finish it, I just get a voice memo and then I finish it later.
Nice. I love it. I always ask every artist that come across a platform because this to me is major. The
Yeah.
way the music industry is now, if I hear a song, if I hear maybe like maybe 5 to 10 seconds of a song,
Hmm.
if that melody or that beat is not resonating with me,
Yeah.
I'm more than likely going to skip that song.
Exactly.
So every artist have given me different answers to this question, so I asked it every time. If it was up to you, what do you think the most meaningful part about a song? Would it be the lyrics or would it be the melody of the beat?
I would say the most meaningful is the lyrics, but the thing that draws people in and keeps them is the melody and the beat. And so I think you have like to make it masterpiece. A really great song is when you can find a way to like put both of those together. Then that's like that to me is the ultimate,
Yes.
goal, because I want music that has a meaning and that people, when the
Mhm.
more they listen to it, they get a little nugget every time, they're like, oh, I didn't realize she was saying that, or, and it can help them to relate to the music more and find healing, hopefully, too.
I agree. I agree because it's not many songs that I've listened to where the beat and the lyrics not most of the time I have to listen to a song maybe 3 times before I even hear the lyrics.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when the lyrics come together with the beat, you're like,
Mhm.
wow. Like you
Yeah.
said, every time you listen to it, you're
Yeah.
gonna hear something different each time that you
Yeah.
listen to that song.
And
So
it's cool that people interpret things differently too. You might say something and someone could get something completely different from it based on their
mhm.
life experience. It could mean, you know, something different for them, but as long as it's meaningful to them, that's what matters to me.
Right, right. So with the music industry being so much different than it was in the past, because I grew up on CDs, I grew up on cassette tapes, I grew up on
Mhm.
those type of things, and even sometimes I listened to records because my mom had a record player, so I would listen to records.
Yeah.
So with the music industry, changing from out there, you can get a CD out there, you can buy a CD, you can sell CDs to anybody then and make money. But now it's to streaming
Yeah.
where you're getting barely anything. How has that shaped you being an artist in the music industry?
And I think it makes it difficult because obviously it's really hard to actually make anything from, making music. But for me, I guess luckily I own a dance studio. That's like, my main thing. So I'm able to survive and, everything, and feed my daughter, all those things based, off of that, which is another passion of mine. So I'm grateful for that. But it does make it difficult because it's very time consuming, and you spend a lot of money putting into it in hopes of it just one day taking off, or if someone's investing in you, you want them to get their investment back, or I do. At least I don't want anyone to ever waste a dime on me or time, and so it's like my goal is that it would be successful enough to one day be profitable, and that investment would be worth it for me and the investors.
Mhm.
But I guess it's made it to where I have to really focus on my why. Why am I doing this? Because if you start to think about the streams and all of that, it literally sucks the life out of you. And you start to lose your focus of why you even started in the first place.
That's true. That's true. Now, I tried it on this, and I said, now should I ask this question because I didn't know whether or not what reaction I would get from
Yeah.
this, but it's a part of your journey. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask this question. Now you
Yeah.
tell me now, Arthur Nick Nicole. Now I don't want you asking that question,
Okay. I'm
but
pretty open, so you're good.
how did the loss of your father and your grandparents impact your songwriting process?
Man, it fueled a lot, and that's ironically the first song that I ever wrote about my dad specifically, because that was like a taboo topic in my family. It was like even after he was gone, no one wanted to talk about what he did, and like we were very much in this frozen state of pretend it didn't happen. And so whenever I finally did, I remember I was really nervous, and I didn't feel like my family really supported me at first because I don't think they even knew how to deal with that honesty. But it impacted it a lot because it makes me more empathetic, I feel like, towards other people, and able to understand what other people have gone through. But it's given me so much to write about because it's the layers of trauma that come with that, especially like my dad, took his own life. So that's a whole nother layer of grief and stuff. So it's something that I'm still working through. I always feel like I'm healed, or I've forgiven him and I've moved on. And then, something happens in life and you realize, okay, I need a little more therapy than I thought,
Right.
so it's,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's shaped me in a lot of ways, but it's definitely, if nothing else, it's given me a lot to write about and a story to tell. So
Nice, because you know what, your story can help somebody else, and sometimes we don't often realize that our things that we go through in life sometimes help
Yeah.
somebody else heal,
Yeah.
faster. Just I'm not the only one out here going through this. Somebody
Yeah.
else is going through it. So that gives them comfort.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
So how do you blend pop and R&B as a background in your music? That's interesting to
Yeah.
me.
So what I feel like it's I like to call it musical jambalaya, the jambalaya is like a Louisiana Southern,
Mhm.
and it's basically they mix a lot of good stuff in, and if you mix the right good stuff, it still tastes good.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same with music and songs. It's every song is slightly different, and the different elements that they will have more or less of will change depending on what that song needs. But I like to think of each song as its own little baby, and it's
Mhm.
like, what does this song need to make it tell the story and give the feeling that I'm wanting it to portray, but also to make it to where I want to listen to it and dance to it, and hopefully other people will as well. So I feel like it's just finding the balance and the mood, the theme, the ingredients, if you will. Maybe that's a good way
Right.
of saying it. The right ingredients for each song.
Nice. I like that. So, if you had to choose now, you just said that those are your babies, but if you had to choose between all the songs that you've written as one of your most favorite songs, which one would you choose?
Does it have to be one that's out?
Any of them?
Any of them? I have one that is, oh man. Okay, there's one that's going to be coming out soon. It's called One More. And I like to say it's my closest thing to a love song that I've written. And I really love that one. It makes me want to cry every time I listen to it. And I don't know why. I just like songs that make me want to cry sometimes. Probably because I need to right now. And then I have another one called Mess You Made that is about, it's like my story and the mess that my dad made. But, and I always struggled with finding the perfect way to really fully tell my story and the big life events that happened along the way. And I feel like that song tells it, and it's very relatable, and it's I don't know, it's just really meaningful to me. But I love the melodies of both of those songs too, and the instrumental, and and all of that. So I feel like once those both come out, those will be my favorites. But of
Nice.
what's out, Best Mistake is my favorite, I think.
I like that song too. I do. I
Yeah.
do. I like that song too. So
Yeah.
now you have your new single out called Bad Guy, right? Bad Guy is out right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what can people expect from this song in terms of like themes and musical style in this song? And how has it been going since it's been out?
Yeah, I feel like this one's a good mix of, it's country, soul, like vocal and storytelling, but has a very good pop underbeat, and even probably a little bit of R&B with, the bass and like different things like that. But it's less R&B than Best Mistake, let's say. So it's a good like little mix, danceable, kind of makes you want to dance and have fun. But it's also just this common theme that I've dealt with in relationships, where it's like when I finally leave after they've given me 5 million reasons to, then because they're heartbroken and they're upset, they have to paint you out to be the bad guy,
Right.
because I guess that helps them move on. I don't know. I'm the kind of person, I just want peace. I'm like, can we just be like, I love you, I think you're great, just not for me, and let's just leave on good terms. But that's not always how it works out, and I feel like some other people relate to that too. So
I can relate. I can definitely relate to that.
yeah,
Wow. I didn't even know that was the theme of that song,
yeah.
until you said it. If you wouldn't have said it, I would have known that was the theme of it. So
Yeah,
now
like once you really, like, if you go study the lyrics, I guess it probably makes sense. But it's like, yeah, it's kind of, I sneak it in there a little bit where it's not fully upfront. But yeah.
nice. I like it. So now I should ask this question in the beginning. What is the story behind your stage name?
Oh, so that's actually my first and middle name, Thea Lissi. So I have, my last name is Saint Germain, and that's just a long name in general. But I've always gone by Thea Lissi, because I guess it was just more catchy, and it was on it was always like my like my usernames for social media and different things like that. So even whenever I was married and my last name changed, everyone still knew Thea Lissi. And I think for a certain amount of time, people started to think that that was my maiden name.
Mhm.
And so whenever I changed it back, it's like they're like, "Oh yeah, that's your last name," and I'm like, "No, that's actually my middle name." But yeah, so
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you're original. I see most artists now are using their first and their middle name to be
yeah,
original. So I
yeah,
think no, I don't think people should have an outside name besides their name.
yeah.
Nobody
Especially
can
mine's
duplicate
so
you.
unique anyway, so it's like, why not?
Right. It is
Yeah.
unique. It is unique. So now I'm gonna move on to the out of the box questions for you.
Okay.
These kind of get everybody stunned a little bit. So I have three of them.
Okay.
So if you could have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give yourself about turning pain into power through music?
I would say to like just keep my focus on the end result of like what that pain will be, because I think if anything I've learned, we have no control over what happens to us. We only have control over how we respond to it and what we do with it. And if I really think of my purpose and what I feel like God put me on this earth for, I feel like it has a lot to do with what I've gone through. And you can't build resilience without trial and without struggle. And you can't build all of these qualities that I am proud to have now, but I wouldn't have those qualities if I had an easy life. So I guess I would just encourage my younger self to push through and to, focus on who I will be one day, and that like there's going to be a purpose to it all, and, focus on that. So,
I love it. I always tell everybody that I come in contact with, life is just a test, and
yeah,
everything that you do is trial and error. You got to
yeah,
try it in order to see what works and what doesn't work.
so true. And then just
Yeah.
keep changing your perspective, and that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. So if you had to write a song inspired by a particular place or a location, what would you choose? What location would you choose, and how would the atmosphere influence your lyrics and your melody?
Hmm. Man, like just like any location.
Any location.
Well, one that I want to write, I will say, is Belize. I went to Belize last summer
Mm.
and I'm obsessed. I want to be kidnapped by like a nice kidnapper, and
Not
be
a
stuck
nice one.
if that's a thing. But it was so peaceful, and I'm a workaholic, so I guess that's why I always make this joke. But it was the first time in a long time that I actually, disconnected from the grind of everyday life and really relaxed and just walked around barefoot, which made me feel like I was a kid again, and just like didn't check my phone, and was just, the weather was nice and the people were like different and spoke differently than me, but it was like it was so cool to see and just to be around a different lifestyle than what I've been engulfed in for so long. So I feel like that would influence me a lot and just give me, um, sometimes having just a different influence or a different surrounding will inspire you in different ways. So who knows what it would inspire, but maybe something a little reggae or a little more
Mhm.
beachy, which would be fun, so
Nice, nice. So what's the weather like there? Was it hot?
it was hot, but not too hot. It was like I don't know, it was perfect. That's the only way. And there was about to be a hurricane and it missed us, which was great. It like hit just above us. And I flew there knowing the hurricane was supposed to hit. And I was like, it ain't my time to go. I'm good. Like God's got, I had a peace about it. So I still went, and it ended up missing us completely. And it was nice. And I actually got stuck there for 2 days longer because the hurricane was stuck over Houston's airport instead. So I was like, it's fine. I'll stay here longer. It's fine.
So it ain't my time to go.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm done. Man, it had to be nice you said it like that.
Yeah.
Man. So okay, the last out of the box question. If you could bring one of your childhood memories to life through music, video, which moment would you choose and how would you creatively represent it on screen?
One of my childhood memories. God, that is a hard one because I don't know if should be a good one or a bad one.
Mm.
There is one that it's a sad one, I guess, but there was this little White House that I lived in till I was about 3, 4 years old. And I've had a lot of repressed memories from that place, but like through therapy and stuff, it's slowly come up, and I know it's something that like I need to work through. Sorry, I'm like, even just talking about it makes me. So I think that would be like the memories of that place, because I feel like I lost um, a lot of innocence there. So I feel like sometimes you have to go back to move forward, and that's something that I've been putting off for a long time. So I think I would do that, and I would maybe like imagery wise, paint that picture of that house and that little girl and the free child that I was at that like time, and then the me that I am now, being there to protect her, almost like that conversation you said that like if I could go back and have, I would almost make the song and the story be about that conversation to younger me.
Wow.
So
I didn't mean to make you emotional. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I didn't expect to be either. So obviously I guess it means I need to do that. I need to make it happen.
Yeah, that means it needs to happen now, because now
Yeah.
you put it out there, so it's got to
Yeah.
happen now.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Now we're gonna do what I call the BTS verses and vibes. So I'm gonna put the question on the screen, and I'm gonna run the countdown to give you 30 seconds to think about the answer to the question. And then we
Okay.
come back, then you'll tell me your answer, and then I'll tell you whether you're right or wrong.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the first question is going to be, what was Destiny Child's first album? I'm gonna do the countdown, and
Cheat,
then
huh?
we'll be back. Give you some time. I'm gonna cut it off. I know you know the answer to this now.
I know I should know the answer to it. Like the second, can I get a hint?
The name of the group?
Or TLC or 3LW? You said the name of the album though, right? It
Mhm.
was Destiny Child.
Destiny Child. That was the name of the first one.
Hmm.
They named it after the group.
Oh, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't
She
have
said, "Wow."
that.
All
Um,
right. Okay, the next one is going to be, name the girls group that were in the group TLC. Name the girls that was in the group of TLC. Their names.
mm, okay, I know Beyonce was in Destiny's Child, right? So this one was.
All right, I'll give you 30 seconds. Got it?
I'm like, I feel like one was Alicia or something like that, but I can't. I'm horrible at names in general, so I
Me
can
too.
think.
I can do faces now.
Yeah, same. I'm like, I can see their faces, but I don't know if I would have ever, because internet wasn't we didn't have access to that back then, like at my house at least. So,
T-Bars, Left Eye, and Chili.
oh man, I don't know what group I was thinking of then, because that was not the names. I would have never guessed that.
Okay, this last question should be like a no-brainer. What was Michael Jackson's album? Well, what was Michael Jackson album, the second best-selling album ever?
Oh man, my Jackson 5. No, Oh, Thriller.
Yep,
Oh,
that's it. That's it.
no. I was like, please, Jesus, let me get one right. I'm such a
Please,
test
Jesus.
taker too. I'm like, if I would have, I would have been studying, to get the answer.
Oh man,
Oh, thank the Lord.
that was good. So now this is the moment I give you the platform and let everybody know how to follow your journey, what's coming up next for you in 2025, and to kind of like give some advice to the younger generation, out there that's probably trying to make their mark in the music industry. So I'm gonna give you the platform. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, so you can find my music, all social media, Thea Lissi at TheaLissi. And then also my website is thealissi.com, which links all my socials as well as the streaming platforms that you can find it on. And then I have new music coming out, another song called Sweeter, and then a bunch more that are going to trickle out after that to be announced on those dates. And then I would say any advice I would have is to know who you are and know your why and stick to it. Compromising your integrity and who you are is never worth it. And if you can't get it in the right way, it's not worth having. So I would say just keep working. And if nothing else, outwork everyone else in the room and you're going to make it. So yeah, it's never too late. I started late. So
Amen to that. It's never too late. Once you know who you are, though, and you, like you said, your why, you can take off. You can do
exactly.
anything you want to do.
Right. It's almost better, I feel like, because when you're younger, you're more, prone to be influenced. So
Gullible.
yeah.
I agree. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I'm rooting for you on this journey. If there's anything that I can do further on my end to push your music out, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know, or either send me your music and I'll promote it on my end.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right,
And
bye.
thank you. All right. Thank you so much to everybody else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode. Y'all got to make sure y'all follow her journey because there's a lot to come, man. And make sure you check out Bad Guy. Because now that I know what that song is about, I got to listen because that's true. People do try to make you out to be the bad guy at the end and it don't even be that. Just love me from a distance. That's it. Just love me from a distance. You ain't got to make me look like a bad person. Come on now. But anyway, y'all got to check out her music. Look at the stroll below and follow her journey and see what's next. So until next time, y'all stay inspired, stay strong, and know who you are. And just be that person. Be that person because nobody else can do it better than you. So until next time, y'all stay strong. Later.
Thanks for watching another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.